Good evening. Welcome to Open House. I am Mrs. McCowan, and I have made this video to teach you about what the 7th grade curriculum is about and what my expectations are for your student to be successful in 7th grade this year. At the end of the presentation, if you have a question, I will receive questions. Please listen to the presentation, take any notes. This video may also be found on YouTube. A little bit about your child's math teacher. I have publicly taught for Orange County Public Schools for over 7 years. I have my bachelor's in mathematics and language arts for middle childhood education. I currently hold 4 teaching certificates, one in K-6 elementary education, another one is 5-9 language arts middle school. I hold a teaching certificate in 5-9 mathematics middle school, and I hold a teaching certificate for grades 6-12 high school mathematics. I graduated 2 years ago with my master's in education from the University of Central Florida. I was a part of the Lockheed Martin Academy, and I received scholarships, and I greatly want to thank all of our Lockheed Martin parents. Thank you for the job that you do at Lockheed Martin and supporting our education in the community. What is the math curriculum for 7th grade? On the sideboard, you will see the math login for the online textbook for Course 2, 7th grade mathematics. If you want, you can write this down on a notebook piece of paper. The topics that we'll be learning this year in 7th grade math, for the first 9 weeks, your child will be learning integers, algebraic expressions and equations, rational numbers, decimals, fractions. This is all a review of 6th grade concepts. Continuing then into 7th grade proportions and measurements, the second 9 weeks we will be learning about figures, coordinates, functions, slope, direct and indirect inverse variation, percents, simple interest, mean, median, mode, histograms. During the third 9 weeks, we'll learn about graphs, populations and samples, probability, area, volume, and surface area. After we learn all that, we do a quick review right before FCAT, and then during the fourth 9 weeks after FCAT, we learn about equations and inequalities to help prepare us for pre-algebra or algebra in 8th grade. You're probably asking yourself, well, what specifically is going to be on my child's FCAT this year? Well, the 4 categories for 7th grade FCAT testing for the FCAT 2.0 are number base 10, that's 25% of the test, ratios and proportional relationships, that's 25% of the test, geometry and measurement, that's 30% of the test, and statistics and probability, which is another 20% of the test. Then we look at the percentage of points by cognitive complexity and level for the FCAT. So here we have multiple choice questions for the 7th grade FCAT 2.0. Your child will have 35 to 40 multiple choice questions and 10 to 15 gridded response. We will review how to answer gridded response questions in April right before we take our FCAT 2.0. As stated previously on the last slide, the number of items on the 7th grade FCAT 2.0 are 50 to 55 questions. Your child has 140 minutes. Again, just like they had in 6th grade, they have 140 minutes to take the test. If they have extended time, that does not equate into the 140 minutes. A great resource that we're using this year in math is Edmodo. So how does my child enter their homework? Simply, after doing the classwork in class, in Mrs. McCowan's class, your child can go over to the computer, log on to www.edmodo.com, and enter in their login name and password. This was user created. Mrs. McCowan does not have access to your username or password. If your child loses it, they will need to recreate a new one. Parents also can have accounts. I have a document provided when you walked in the door tonight. If you take this document home, you can sign up and have a parent account. Please follow the directions. As I cannot create a parent account for you, you must create your own parent account. Read the instructions on how to sign up And then every time your child is assigned a homework assignment in Edmodo, you receive a text or an email alerting you to what is due and when it's due. If you have questions about their progress, you can also see how well they're progressing on Edmodo. All of the homeworks this year will be entered in Edmodo for credit. Your child's goal is to be getting at least 60% of their homework questions correct. If they need to redo it, they can redo that and then receive their second redo grade for a higher grade. If they do not turn in their Edmodo the first time, they can enter in the late assignment and take the late assignment for a late grade for doing their homework. There is no reason why any student should not be doing their homework. If you do not have internet or a computer at home, your child during the class period, after the lecture or notes or whatever we're doing in class, at the last 10 minutes, can go over to any of my computers and enter in their Edmodo. I welcome all students to use the computers in class. If they need to come in before school, during lunch, or go to the media center, I will also rate passes. How can I check my child's progress? Well, we have this great program called Progress Book. Get your login information from your grade level secretary. So that would be 7th grade, Mrs. Pratt. You can go to her office and ask her, or probably the quickest way is calling or emailing. And she will let you know what your login information is, and then you can change it to your user's specific name. Everything in my class is updated on Fridays. So you will notice on Friday that your child's Edmodo grades will be updated on Progress Book, tests will be updated on Progress Book, and late grades will be updated on Friday on Progress Book. Where can I find additional resources for my child? Well, there's a great website that I have created. It's teacherpress.ocps.net/Kelly McCowan. Here you'll notice that I put the table of contents and other important things for the class. So if your child is not writing down in their table of contents for their notebook, your child should have a 5-subject notebook. In the first 2 pages, there's a table of contents to tell your child what pages their homeworks and notes go on. If your child is not keeping up with this, my website, every Wednesday, I update to let you know what the table of contents should look like. If your child is not writing that down, you can go to this website. If you do not have an internet or computer at home, your child can come in the morning, at lunch, or the media center, or at the end of class and update their notebook. If you would like to watch this presentation again, I have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Mrs. McCowan 12. You can check out all my YouTube videos that I have on math, and you can check out this open house video that I have on YouTube. It is open and public, so you can view it from any wireless device or computer. If you have questions about this presentation, you can view this again at home. Once again, I would like to thank you for coming to open house tonight. I appreciate you taking the time out of your daily busy schedule to come out to open house and see all your teachers for your student and see what your student does daily. It's very important that we have good communication and that we have support for our students. So if you need a parent conference, the appropriate way to parent conference would not be to talk to Mrs. McCowan tonight. If you need a parent conference, the appropriate way would be to go to the guidance counselor or to the grade level secretary. If you would give the grade level secretary a call, she can set up a parent conference. Once the parent conference is set up, it is a parent conference with all the team teachers, and we all sit down to talk about your student and your student's needs and how we can better help them. Thank you for coming to open house, and I hope to have a successful year with your student.